I'm excited to welcome on a top recruit in 2021 and the newest member of Maryland's recruiting class, James Graham. What's going on today, my guy?
What's good, my man? How are you?
Pretty good, man. Well, obviously you just announced that you're going to Maryland. Take us to this decision. What does it feel like?
It's a great feeling. They got a solid class already, and I'm happy to add my name to it.
I mean, let's take us to this decision. I mean, it's obviously been a lot of ups and downs. You're on it about a month
Mhm.
or so ago, and you talk about obviously coaches were kind of narrowing themselves out of the list. You brought down your top four now. Take us through what kind of stood out. Why did those four schools make it?
So with those four schools, it was kind of more of I'd say like those four schools were the ones who just talked to me the most, and that's what I tell my family and my AAU directors and all that stuff was, the four schools that recruited me the most and communicated with the most was the schools I was going to consider the most, and those four did that.
And so before we get to Maryland, man, let's just break down those schools. One is Memphis, Coach Penny
Mhm.
Hardaway. What was your relationship like with him and Coach Topper?
Yeah, man. So them two, I'm close with both of them. They both good dudes, and Coach Topper is amazing with development. So that was another key thing for Memphis. Is just the development piece that Cody Topper brings to the table.
As for Auburn, they're a school that a lot of people were maybe hoping that's where you'd be going because you pushed it
Yeah,
back. What was it? What
yeah,
was it about them? I mean, they come in that late push. I know. What was it
yeah.
about them?
It's just the fact that so many people I'm close with, really like Auburn, uh, and some people, so many people that I love and things like that were pushing for them. But honestly, it's about where I want to go, and.
The other option besides Maryland was staying home,
Mm-hmm.
Wisconsin. What would it have
Mm-hmm.
been like to stay home and been kind of represented by the hometown?
Yeah, man, that would have been amazing, man. Honestly, I really was considering Wisconsin. But, it's just some things that's going on, outside of basketball that just kind of affected my decision to, kind of get away from the state.
Absolutely, man. So that leads us to obviously Maryland. What was ultimately the biggest separating factor? What separated them from the other three?
They kind of just brought everything together. With Memphis, their thing was development. And a guy on Maryland staff, his name's Dre, he kind of he works with Cody Taco on development and things like that. So, they have a development piece. Their school has an 85% graduation rate, which is good academics. And also, I believe Coach Turgeon is going to let us have fun. He's going to let us rock out. That's what I've been talking to the players about and things like that. So I believe that, we're going to have the ability to get, to rock out and have fun there.
And so you ultimately was going to decide Sunday. You push it back to Friday. Now, obviously, you moved it up surprisingly to Wednesday. Why
Mm.
was it all this shifting factor? I mean, who was kind of in the mix at the very end? What kind of made you want to push it back?
Yeah, so, it was Maryland from the jump for me. And then, Auburn kind of hopped in there lately, made me think deep about it. So that's why I pushed it back was I had to be 110% in, and with Maryland I am.
And so take us to that, man. I know that's something we hear sometimes with guys. A
Mm-hmm.
school hops in heavily on the very end. How were
Yeah.
they able to make a big impression? Like, how did they kind of hop in on the end?
Their whole thing was just the fact that the SEC just plays super fast and it's real NBA ready, and those dudes are super athletes, and they were just pushing the league.
Gotcha. And so Maryland's a school, man. You have Ike there. You have
Mm-hmm.
Juju, two big-time players. What do you like about them?
I like both of them because those dudes both are really good, and they both know, their roles, and they both, like Ike is a shooter. He can hit that boy. Like Juju, he gonna be super nice for us too. His ability to shoot the balls are big. And Ike just got the sits and all that stuff. So, we gonna I'm looking for us to be real tough, man. I'm looking for us to be top 10.
So you guys have a big three now locked in of you three. Is there anyone else you guys are kind of talking to about possibly wanting to add on to this group?
I honestly can't get into that really because I don't know if we have another scholarship, but I think we do. If some players leave or thing like that. But I think Coach Turgeon wants to get another guard. So, any guards out there want to come join, what we doing? Come on.
And so you talk about Ike. I mean, have you guys met him yet? What's your relationship like with him right now?
Yeah, so actually, Ike followed me before Juju. And me and Ike kind of talked about a couple weeks ago. And we kind of been connecting, and we've been FaceTiming and stuff like that. And that's my boy. He cool, and I rock with him.
No doubt. So you're going with Coach Turgeon, an incredible coach. We've seen what he's done. Led a top
Mm-hmm.
team in the Big Ten last year. What do you like
Mm-hmm.
about him?
Yeah, so with Turge, in all my life, all my coaches have been those type of dudes to yell, get angry, rah, rah. You take a shot, you're looking over your shoulder, things like that. And I love those dudes, those are my coaches. But, I just think I need to change the scenery. And another thing about Auburn was BP was like that. BP was like my other coaches. But for me, I really felt like it was time for me to just have a change of scenery and, go to a coach, who's calm, collected, and not getting. And when I watch Maryland games, no matter if it's 4 seconds on the shot clock, they up by 2, he's gonna be sitting there with his arms crossed, cool. And then if we up by 40 and dunking and everything, he's still gonna be with his arms crossed, cool. So that stability and that consistency is kind of something I've been looking for.
That's something about you, man. I mean, I know a lot of guys focus heavily on the recruiting process before they commit, but you really go down to the details. Like you just said, watching the way coaches react on the bench, looking at all this. I mean, take us through your process. What was it like really digging that deep into each program?
Yeah, so, well, first off, like my mom, she, like just with her job and how organized she is, because like my mom be busy all the time, so she always just taught me to just be organized. So like with me, like I got on my Mac and stuff, like whole like spreadsheets, and I'm writing down academics, I'm writing down graduation rates, I'm writing down pros produced at my position, like not just pros produced at my position, 3 4s. I'm talking about all that stuff. Like I got real deep into it, and that's honestly because I don't think some recruits realize, like I'm a 4-star, so like those 5 stars, like in my opinion, like you a 5-star, it's a blessing if you go to that school, so you don't have to take it as serious. But for us people who in order to be a one and done, or 1 and 2 are done, we have to make the right choice. I feel like we really got to go into real deep thought about it. It's the biggest decision you will make in your life, and honestly, until it's time to choose an agent. So I just had to make sure I really, really dug deep and really, chose the right choice, because I do believe I had the potential to be one and done, and I had to make sure I found a coach who can push me to new heights. And I think Turge is that.
We just saw this past year. He did that with Jalen Smith, the guy that was a high-level recruit, made him a one-down talent. He's a big-time player. How appealing was that when you saw him get a guy like Jalen Smith to the league that quickly?
Yeah, so things like just things like that. Like if you aren't a Turge, just gonna let you rock out. He's one of those dudes where he put the ball in his best player's hands, and it's not like, oh man, like Sticks was Storm, we can't get the ball to Sticks no more type thing. Like if you got the eye hand, he gonna keep giving it to you, and that's another thing. Like the fact that he like that, and the fact that he can develop like that, and the fact like Dre and Bino and those other guys on that staff can do that, that's great, and that's something that I really look for.
Now, in terms of guys on the roster right now, do you know anyone?
Oh yeah, I know a lot of the guys. I talked to a ton of them.
For sure. And I know one guy that has a lot of promise, a former top player in the country, had a lot of injuries, is Troll Mariel. Pretty close with him. I mean, do you have any relationship with him yet?
Not really. I talked to Ayala, talked to Marcus. I got on the phone with Ant. So I mean, I really didn't talk to him, I don't think.
Gotcha. And so you have another year to get out there. What do you want to improve on? What do you want to work on to get out there?
Yeah, so another thing about me is no matter what school, if I was considered or not, I asked what they thought if they thought I could be 1 or 2, and what they thought I need to work on the most. And what I got was 2, but 1 just if the NBA team needs offense. And they also said I'm guaranteed 1 if I can just get my feet right. So that's something with me. I know I had the ability to score the ball at a real high level, but for me, I really think the next level for me is getting my defense right and being able to lock down 2 through 4.
And by you committing to Maryland, you are a top 50 recruit of all time in their history, and that's a lot of big-time players on that list. How do you look to be able to create a legacy for what you do at Maryland?
Yeah, so that's another thing. Like with Maryland, I feel they haven't had a player like me. I'm 6'8", 6'9", lanky, can shoot it. So that's another thing. And Maryland is just being right there with Baltimore and DC. The atmosphere and the relationships and the media presence that Maryland has. I feel like I really can do something special there. I'm not saying like it's gonna be something like with Zion or Duke or anything like that, but like in terms of like putting Maryland on and making trying to make it a powerhouse, something I really feel like I can do. Just with my how a person I am. Like I'm outgoing, I'm goofy, I'm gonna get out there. I'm not scared to go hang with people, go out in the crowd. So I really feel like with my presence, and my personality, I really feel like I can do something special in the media presence of Baltimore and DC.
And that is what we know about you. I mean, that comes with you as long as all the talent is that you have energy, you play with passion, regardless like feeling all the emotion of the game. How do you just be able to do that in a college atmosphere, and how excited are you to be able to go out there and do that?
Yeah, so that's another thing. So like I know I'm screaming and yelling and I'm talking stuff and I'm talking to the players and I'm getting in their head when it's 1,000 fans in our high school gym. When it's 10 plus thousand, I don't even know that type of energy I'm gonna feel. I don't know. I can't even sit here and tell you how much adrenaline I think I have.
That's awesome. And for you now personally, I mean, you talk about wanting to be 1 and done, 2 and done, whatever it might look like. Ultimately, what is the goal? What do you know you have to have so that you are an NBA player in a year or 2?
So, like I said, defense, but at the same time, just becoming more efficient. Things like that. I pick at my game so much, and because I really just I really want to get there, and I think that with Maryland Turge and Dre and Bino are going to push me to accomplish that.
You've always had that underdog kind of attitude about you. You haven't
Yeah.
always been a highly ranked guy. Still don't even rank where you probably should be. What kind of chip has that put on your shoulder?
Yeah. So like when I saw, because I wasn't ranked for a while, and then they put me at 56,
Mm-hmm.
and when I saw that, like a part of me was just like part of me was more hungry than I was when I was unranked.
Mm-hmm.
Because like I looked at all the players above me, I was like, really? I was like, really? And one of them in my home state, Patrick Baldwin, and me and Pat, he'll tell you we go at it every time we play, we going at it. That's my guy. But I'm like, I'm up here with him. Like I can hang. So like, that kind of just put a bigger chip on my shoulder, and that's ultimately why I chose Maryland. I get a chance to play a lot of great teams, a lot of top teams, and I get the ability to mix my talents against great teams, night in and night out, top recruits.
I just had another Wisconsin guy on a little bit earlier, and David, and he talked about you guys. This 2021 class is something that Wisconsin's probably never seen. Mike Foster, Pat Baldwin, you, David, and this list goes on. What's it like being a part of this 2021 Wisconsin class?
Yeah, so like in this class, we got me, Pat, Tyrese, Dave, all those guys, and we even got a bunch of mid-major and some more high-major players, Logan Landers, Brandon Pozeminski. Like our class is so deep. And I always said that, like even Kobe Johnson, like our stuff is so deep. And I always said that. But like Dwayne Wilson, like players like that, I'm like, yeah, our class is deeper than all y'all. It's like, I was like, Wisconsin never seen it. Like I forget what it said, but I saw a tweet recently. And it was like, our top 15 all has Division I offers. Like, that's insane. Like other states had that, but like that's never been seen in Wisconsin,
So would you say the greatest recruiting class in Wisconsin history?
Come on. To be honest with you, in terms of depth, I believe so. In terms of sometimes there might have been a class where like their top three is better than our top three. But I'm taking my guys over anybody, just being honest.
It's something rare. Now, like you said, there are California, Texas. They got a lot of depth too, but they're smaller, the bigger states as well. But you guys have two top 10 guys in rankings, and as you said, a lot of guys could be in that top group as well. That's something special for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
And you look now at the depth of creating Wisconsin basketball. Would you want to possibly have some more Wisconsin guys come with you to Maryland, either in this 2021 class or 2022?
And man, honestly, like that's another thing, man. Like that's what I'm looking to do. I want kids to come. Like Maryland is a good place, man. Great spot. It's honestly one of the better college atmospheres. Like, if anybody in Wisconsin, like I know Jeff Bazille, the Gus Bus, like those dudes, Tayshaun Bridges have Maryland offers. Like, come on, like, they can come join us. Come make something special in the next classes. Keep Turge producing good recruiting classes.
Kobe's the guy that's also going through this process right now as well. I don't know how hard Maryland is in there, but would that be someone that you'd like to possibly play with at the college level?
Oh, yeah, for sure. Man, I told Kobe all the time. We used to joke about this our freshman year at AAU. I'd be like, come on, we don't have to play together because we be super close. Mm-hmm. So, I'd be like, man, we got to go play together. We always joke about that. I would love if he came.
No doubt, man. A couple more things before I let you go. When you look at this Maryland career, you're going to have 1, 2, however long you are there. What would you say are your 3 biggest goals you want to have for your Maryland career?
Well, first, I want to get as deep in the tournament as we can. Mm-hmm. I'm not going to sit here and say national championship because some of those classes super loaded, super good teams, veteran players. But I want to get it. I want to get the tournament at least Sweet 16. I believe we're capable of that. Another thing is, I do want to, be on an all Big Ten team. Mm-hmm. Also, something else I'm looking to accomplish is, just get it. First of all, I want to get a Big Ten championship too, because that's so live. I saw when that happened with Wisconsin and Maryland, and I forget the other team who 3-way tie, but I want to get another Big Ten championship as well.
So being the Big Ten, that's a loaded conference. How excited are you for that conference? And also, who is the biggest team you're most excited to go up against?
Yeah, I can't wait to play in that conference, But, if Omani and Charles both reclassify, I want to play Michigan State. We're going to play them, but I'm looking forward to that game.
Absolutely, man. I know you're with you. I already know you're going to go out there and do it, but you have that leadership ability. You're a guy that kind of takes over a locker room in a way. How do you plan to do that when you get out there?
Yeah, so when I go out there, I think my personality, and how I carry myself is going to honestly boost our guys up. And, as a freshman, they're going to be tempted not to follow. you know. But my whole thing is let's do it together. Like there's no following, there's nobody in front. You know, we all together. So that's gonna be my whole thing. Is just trying to keep that togetherness going and trying to keep us rocking out.
Now, when you talk to coaches, you talk about what they kind of want you to improve on to a degree. What do they
Mhm.
expect for you? What do they want you for sure to do in your freshman season?
So when I talk to Turge, his biggest thing with me is, they're losing Wiggs to the draft this year. They think, and Darryl was a senior, so they're losing a wing presence. And with Wiggs and Darryl, they both scored a ball. But with Maryland, I think that I don't think they've necessarily had a player like me in terms of the mentality. Like their players are skilled like me, but my mentality is to go score. My mentality is you can't guard me. So, Turge was telling me like he needs me to come in and score the ball immediately. And, he said my volume is the volume I shoot it and score that is gonna be up to me, but I need to score the ball. And I think that's what I'm gonna have to come in there and do immediately.
That's big time, man. And we do have to talk about your dog. I know you have an Instagram page for Bean now. Take us through that and just why you decided to start that up.
No, man, it's just a joke, but that's my little guy. He walking around here somewhere. I will go find him, but I don't know where he at. He probably in the kitchen looking for some food. But yeah, that's my little guy, man. He's adorable.
Absolutely, man. My last thing before I let you go, I was like wrapping up with us talking about legacy. When you are done with
Mhm.
your basketball career, man, what do you want your legacy to be for what you do on and off the court?
Yeah, and I get what you're saying. Part of my reasoning for choosing Maryland
Mhm.
was because it's a college town, college campus. So on the campus, it's real nice. But when I leave there to go 10 minutes up Baltimore Route 1, left or right, you in Baltimore, you're in DC. Those are both cities that you can get back to. And that's my big thing, man, is I'm a good heart. Like if I see homeless people, no matter if it's a scam or not, I'm always trying to get them something, I feel for people. So my legacy, I kind of want to be like LeBron, how LeBron is off the court. He does so many great things. I kind of want to do that. Yeah, just minus the drama sometimes that LeBron get into. But, definitely want to make sure I get back and, give my community what it gave me. And that's in Wisconsin. That'll be in Maryland. And that'll be whatever team I get drafted to or overseas to or something, you know.
Absolutely, man. Well, I definitely appreciate you taking time to come on again, my guy, and press on the commitment, bro.
Hey, thanks so much, man. Have a good one.
You too, man. You're always welcome on, man. God bless.
For sure. God bless.